Hi everyone, thank you for watching Anna Hudgins Beauty. I am Anna Hudgins, and in today's video I am doing Drugstore versus High End. I am going to show you a full face of drugstore affordable makeup dupes for some of my favorite high-end beauty products. So if that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned. So I always start my makeup looks with my brows. I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow in the color Soft Brown. And then for the dupe, I have the Arches and Halos. This is called Luxury Brow Building Pomade, and it's in the shade Dark Brown. Let's test them out. So, high-end drugstore. Outline the brow first. And I got way too much product. So I'm going to blend it out, and then I clean up the excess with my finger because my skin is very slippery because it's moisturized, so I can make it work that way. Arches and Halos. All right, now we are brow-rific now. Can you tell the difference? I cannot tell the difference. I feel like they look identical. So this is a good dupe. So lids are primed. Now we're ready to move on to eyeshadow, and I'm gonna go in with the Natural Nudes palette from Too Faced Cosmetics and the Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air. On this side, I'm gonna start with Swan, and I'm just gonna use that to set the primer and just have a nice base to work from. And then on the opposite side of the brush, I'm gonna go in with the pale shade in the Wet n Wild palette. And this one is actually more pigmented, and the undertone is more brightening than the Too Faced side. So I actually like the shade in the Wet n Wild a little bit better. So I'm going to use the transition shade right here. And I'm going to mix that with a little bit of this orange shade right here. And then I'm just going to buff that into the crease. You can see how pigmented and vibrant that is. So I'm just going to clean off my brush and do the same on the other side with the shade Maple. And actually it's applying a little bit more patchy than the other side. I don't know if it's because that first shade really didn't cover very well, and so it made the blending a lot harsher. I'm very surprised by that. Alright, so now we're moving on to the dark tone shade right here, and I'm going to use a smaller brush and just get that into the outer crease. This has a lot of fallout. It's pretty powdery. The Too Faced one has fallout as well, but it's not as bad. And go in with the dark brown from the Too Faced palette. This is called Truffles. Yes, this one is definitely more pigmented, so you don't need as much product as you do with the other one, but they look almost identical in color. You can see how this one's a little bit deeper, so I'm gonna have to layer the Wet n Wild to get that richness. So for the lid, I'm gonna go in with Glistening Snow, and I'm gonna mix it in with a little bit of Shimmering Pearl. Mix those two shades together. Just gonna use a pencil brush for that. And you can see how gorgeous and metallic that is. Just stunning. I'm going to clean off my brush and use the same shimmery shade right here in the Wet n Wild palette. And I'm just going to add a little bit onto the lid. And you can see it's not as bright and shiny as this one, so I'm going to have to wet my brush. And then it builds up to a more metallic-y shine to compare to the Too Faced. Wet n Wild is a very good dupe, but it just doesn't quite hit the same note when it comes to pigmentation. You got to build it up a little bit more. but I mean, look at those eye looks. It's so similar, so I think it's beautiful. The high-end side, I'm going in with the BTS Too Faced liquid liner. It has a brush tip and it is a waterproof matte formula. And the dupe side is the Epic Ink eyeliner from NYX Professional Makeup. This is also waterproof and matte finish with a brush tip. So these, in my opinion, are dupes for each other at very different prices. I'm just gonna glide that along. And then it glides on just as easily. It's just as pigmented. Now we're moving on to the face, and we're gonna go in with primer first. And I have the Hangover Rx 3-in-1 replenishing primer from Too Faced Cosmetics, and for the dupe I have the Wet n Wild photoFocus 3-in-1 primer in coconut. So I'm going to shake them up a little bit. It has a very strong scent, so I just like to warn people about that. If you want to try this, maybe try the other scents. Maybe they're not as strong as this one. And then Too Faced on this side. And it still does have a strong scent, but it's not as coconutty, I guess, as the Wet n Wild side. As far as like hydration, like I do feel refreshed on both sides. I do feel like there's a glow, and I do feel like they dry down to a nice tacky feeling, so that's good for priming your skin for makeup. So I think these are very good dupes for each other and very different price ranges. So there you go. The drugstore side eyeliner has started to leak into my under eye right here, so I'm gonna have to clean that up, and you will see that this one did not. That could have happened because of the spray. That's a point against the drugstore eyeliner. So now moving on to foundation, I'm going to use Becca on the high-end side, and if you haven't seen my favorite foundations video, definitely check it out. I'll put it in the links down below. I love this foundation because it is so full coverage. It will cover everything. It looks gorgeous on the skin. It gives you that just flawless full coverage look. So the dupe I discovered was the Juvias Place I Am Magic Velvet Matte Foundation. So I used shade Buttercup on this side, and on this side is 550 Martinique. And check this out, y'all. Full coverage. Oh my gosh. And it has that same yellowy undertone that the Becca one has. I mean, they're dang near the same. I can't even believe it. It's such a good dupe. I'm so excited to share this dupe with you guys, so I hope you like that. So now moving on to concealer. The Ride or Die Shape Tape Concealer from Tarte Cosmetics comes in a million shades and it has the most full coverage matte finish. It's just beautiful. So I am using the shade Light Medium, and this just, like, if you've watched YouTube for any amount of time, you already know that this is just like goals right here. This is concealer goals. Blends out like a dream. It's gorgeous. Now on this side, the dupe I found is the CoverGirl trueblend Undercover Concealer, and my shade is Golden Natural. Again, this is just to highlight a little bit. The coverage is there. Just look how smooth it makes the under eyes look. Love both of them. Holy grail concealer, like, for real. And now to set that concealer, we're going to use loose setting powder. And for the high-end side, I'm going in with the Dermablend Illuminating Banana Powder. I'm just gonna set the under eyes like so. Now the dupe I found for this, of course, is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade Fair Light. There's other shades, but this is the only one I've tried, and it has a little bit of that yellowy undertone as well. it actually looks more yellow to me than the one that's actually called banana. So that's funny. Ooh, I actually like the Maybelline side a little better. Okay, it looks so smooth, and this one kind of looks a little dry and cracky. It has been sitting there a minute, so let's go ahead and dust it off. Whoa, the Maybelline one is so much better. I can't even. I'm like at a loss for words. I'm stressed right now. Alright, so moving on to contour. For the high-end side, I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick in the shade Chestnut. This is my favorite shade to use to snatch the jawline, the cheekbones, and the forehead to just bring a little color to the face. So I'm just going to swipe those on and blend those out. I am using my IT Cosmetics brush. This is my favorite contouring brush because I saw a tutorial with Scott Barnes and he had something very similar. So I had to get it and I absolutely love it. Now we're going to do the other side, but my dupe is the LA Girl Pro Conceal High Definition Concealer in the shade Beautiful Bronze. This is a oldie but goodie. This is like when I first started YouTube, I discovered this concealer, but it's still very similar in the shade. And it's very similar in how it blends out. They're both easy to use. I love them both. Great product. Now to bronze, I'm going to go in with my Ride or Die Hoola bronzer from Benefit. This is a little mini size that I got. This is my Ride or Die. I just love it. It is, in my opinion, for my skin tone, the perfect shade. For the drugstore side, I'm going in with the Milani bronzer. This is called Silky Matte Bronzing Powder in the color Suntan. This is shade number 3. And when you swatch them side by side, they look pretty much identical on the face. I really can't tell a difference. Can you? Big price difference. Get the same look. It's nice and smooth. Just watch out for this one. It's a little more pigmented, so you have to use a softer touch. So now we're moving on to blush. And one of my all-time favorite blushes is Eternal Sun from MAC. This is a gorgeous prolongwear blush, which I don't even know if they make it anymore, but it has a very soft shimmer. It has a peachy brown undertone to it. It's beautiful. Yeah, this is one of my all-time favorite blushes. It just is beautiful. And for the dupe, I am going to use the e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush in Always Earthy, and I'll go ahead and do a swatch right next to that, to the MAC one. And you can see how similar the shades are. The only difference is the MAC one has a soft glow to it, while the e.l.f. is just completely matte. Moving on to highlighter, and you guys know one of my faves is the Cookie highlighter from Benefit Cosmetics, and I just love it. So I'm just gonna take my brush. It's a very white champagne color. The Physicians Formula Butter Highlighter. This is in the shade Pearl. The only difference is this has a pink undertone. However, once you glide it across the face, all you see is that shine, and it is a very close dupe for this. Look at that. You can build it up to be as blinding or as blurred out as you want. Ah, stunning. So I will say that the Benefit has a little more of that shimmer to it, and this is more of just like a wet look kind of glow. This has a scent to it as well, so if you don't like scent in your makeup, then you might want to think twice about this one. But yeah, this is my favorite mascara because it really lifts and curls my lashes. The brush is amazing, and it separates the lashes so well. This is the Bambi Eyes mascara from L'Oreal, and the only difference is the brush bristles don't separate the lashes as well, but it really does lift the lashes almost just as well as the roller lash. I hate the brush. I wish they would come out with this mascara with a different brush that's more like the roller lash brush. But as far as like pigmentation, I feel like this one is darker. And this one also just lifts my lashes so beautifully. So for lashes, I am just going to use the Ardell Double Wispy Lashes, and I will be right back for the lips and my final thoughts. Now for the lips, I got a great dupe because this lipstick is expensive with a capital E. And this is the Lancome L'Absolu Rouge. Is that how you say it? And it is called Parisian Cafe. This is my favorite shade. I love their formula. It's got a luxe case. You press the button and it pops out the bottom. And you just pull it out. And then you push it in. Doesn't come out. Doesn't move. Very luxe. And so yeah, let's put it on. It's just a beautiful rose tone. It's like a go-to shade for me. This is the ColourPop Lippy Sticks lipstick in the shade Cami. The ColourPop is just a touch more on the purple side, and this one is more on the pinky side, but I will say Cami is one of those shades that anytime I'm wearing this, everybody asks me what lipstick I'm wearing. So Cami is a winner. Go and get you one. So this is the final look. What do you guys think? I can't believe how similar they are. I'm freaking out. Ah! So I hope you enjoyed watching today. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and hit that notification bell so you are notified whenever I upload new videos. And hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Share it with your friends if you did. And follow me over on Instagram at Hudgins Beauty. Let me know what your favorite dupes are. If you have any requests for future videos, anything like that, let me know in the comment section down below. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you in the next video.